today I'm going to be ranking every LEGO Star Wars set made in 2022. So we've got a pretty decent amount of sets to go through. This is just going to be my own personal feelings towards each set. I'll be taking things into account such as, set design, price, minifigures that were made, just everything around that. And then I'll be things that qualify as a set are, just regular standard sets with minifigures and stuff. I got the helmet collections, the UCS, the dioramas. I won't be including like those poly bags that are released with magazines or just poly bags in general. But without further ado, we can get started. So we got S, A, B, C, and D tier. So the first set we have on the list is the Hoth ATST. I thought this was an interesting set because when you think of an ATST, you don't think of this design at all. You think of the Endor design with the open eyes and the longer head, kind of like what we got for the Rogue One wave. This one was odd because the head is shaped so weird and it's kind of ugly, but it looks exactly how the Hoth ATSTs did look in Episode 5. That being said, we have a decent amount of minifigures. We got a Hoth Trooper, a driver, a probe droid, and a snow Chewbacca, which was cool. I thought that this was, it was a pretty good set. $50 it retailed for. Wasn't the best the price. I still think ATST should be 40 bucks max. So that being said, I think this is probably a B tier set. We'll put that there for now, see if it compares to anything else later on. But up next we have the new ATTE. So this is an amazing set. I just got this one. The build is fantastic. The minifigures are great. We finally, got Phase 2 Cody. Everything about this set is great. Besides, of course, I'm going to be harping on this a lot, the price. This set retails for $140 regularly. The last ATTE that came out in 2014 was $80. That's a $60 price hike for nothing new besides a little spider droid and a couple more minifigures. So there's nothing to really justify that price hike. Even inflation, it's just not great. However, this set is still an S tier set. We've been wanting a new ATTE since 2014, and we finally got the Phase 2 Cody. I think this is, despite the price, this is still an S tier set. The next one we have is the what's this? The Ambush on Ferrix. It's the one Andor set that came out. Outrageous price for $70. It's going to be a pretty common theme, and it's something that's it's beating a dead horse. Lego prices are too expensive, and they are. $70 for this is way too much, but it's gone on sale quite a bit, almost anywhere, and the build for this is amazing. The angles are like really, really good. The build is solid. You got some pretty good minifigures. You got Andor, Luthen, and the Ciro and Primor uniform, plus a little speeder. I think this is definitely an A set, an A tier set. It's pretty good. The one Andor set we did get, the ship is cool, the minifigures are good, so definitely an A tier set. So the next up we have this BD1, the build a character wave. You get a little BD, little figure in that one too, which is cool. The set I don't actually have. So I've only been able to look at it and its design, and it looks like it's pretty good. There's nothing I can really fault it for. It's just not my personal cup of tea. I'm more of the minifigure driven sets. So that being said, I think it's probably a B tier set for me. Like, it's not bad. It's not something I'd personally pick up, but definitely not a terrible set. Alrighty, so the next one we have is Jabba's Palace, or Boba Fett's Palace now. This is the one set we got from the Boba Fett series. Got some amazing minifigures in here. The aliens, and Bib Fortuna, and Boba Fett, Fennec Shan. The build is pretty solid. I think this retailed for $100 originally, but almost everywhere it's on sale for less than that now. And I do think it's worth it. I think this is a pretty good set. The build is nice. It's not as good as the original Jabba's Palace, of course, but the minifigures are still pretty fantastic, and you still get the facade, right? And that's kind of what you need in this one. It's a nice throne room, which is, the point of this set is, Boba Fett's new throne room. I think this is actually an S tier set, guys. It's pretty fantastic in my opinion, and the minifigures really sell that one. So next up we have is Blue Milk Luke. Came out. It's a polybag set. I did include this one polybag set. Came out with the Skywalker Saga video game. Um, I hate this. It's a stupid, hard to find scalper minifigure. No one can get it anymore. It's like $70 now. It's ridiculous. It's not even that cool. Like you get a little blue milk mustache Luke. I mean, it's funny, but it's not worth what you're going to have to pay for it secondhand. If you got it with the deluxe version of the video game, good for you. Fantastic. Even then, I still probably wouldn't rank it higher than a D. I don't like it very much at all. Um, yeah, next up we have the Clone Trooper Battle Pack. This was also another, controversial set. It's pretty hard to find for most people, out of stock almost immediately, and it's very, very sought after. Now, they fixed the supply chain issues pretty recently, just in time for it to, get retired this year. That being said, it's not a bad set. It goes for $15. Get a clone commander from the gunship, which is cool to get him in a cheaper set. Get a couple of Phase 1 clone troopers, a little command center and gun rack. I like this set a lot. It's, if you got your hands on it, it's worth it. $15, definitely an A tier set. I would recommend this for most people. Clone troopers, everyone wants clone troopers. Build your army. Kind of wish that it was just 3 white clone troopers, so you can army build that better, but getting that commander is still pretty good. Next up, we have the new diorama waves. And like, originally, I'm like, gosh dang it, this is not my thing, right? It's just going to be, I'm a minifigure guy, right? So I'm going to have to buy these expensive diorama sets to get these minifigures for the wall. And I got these sets, and like, dang, these are really, really cool, right? So I just finished building this one, actually, the Dagobah set. The infamous put 177 green tiles down. That wasn't fun, but the set looks amazing. The minifigures are just right for it. You get Yoda, Luke, and R2 all in Dagobah. I think it's $100 set, 90 or 100. It's a bit expensive. If you get it on sale, even better. But this one was really, really good. I liked it. The facade is neat. I think it's a B tier set. Not quite an A tier. It's not as good as, say, the build of the Andor shuttle or the value you get for the clone troopers, but it's definitely a good one. Next up, we have the helmet series, the Death Trooper, or not the Death Trooper, the Dark Trooper. So this is another Lego Star Wars part of the collection that I don't get. I'm not a big helmet guy. I never have been, but so just my objective views on the Dark Trooper specifically, I don't like it. It doesn't look very good in my opinion. It looks odd, right? They didn't quite capture the look of the Dark Trooper as well as they could have. And for that reason, I think it's a C tier set. Like, there are definitely way better helmets out there that I would rank, higher, even though I don't get them. They're not my, personal cup of tea. But the Dark Trooper one specifically is not that great. Next up, we have the Battle of Endor. This is a D tier set. This is maybe one of the worst Lego Star Wars sets released, in a very, very long time. Probably since the Last Jedi ATST. This thing is awful. For the price you get, it's ridiculous. For the builds you get, they're awful. The minifigures aren't great. There's nothing that draws people to this set. Even little kids. If I got this as a kid, I would have hated it. This is dumb. The ATST looks stupid. You get a little tree, a little speeder, and the minifigures aren't that great. And for the price you have to pay, there's no way to justify this. I have no idea how this got, off the table at Lego. This is ridiculous. But a much better set is the Hoth Trooper Battle Pack. This is another good one. You get a couple, guns, a cannon, and three Hoth Troopers, and they're all, different skin tones, which is really nice to get some diversity. It's another $15 set, and this one didn't have as bad of supply chain issues as the Clone Trooper one did. So I think this is another A tier set. We'll put that right next to the Clone Troopers. It's worth it. It's cool. If you like Hoth, you're gonna really like this one. For the price you get it at, it's definitely pretty good. Next up, we have the Inquisitor's Shuttle. So this is from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Um, it retails for $100, so it's a kind of an expensive one. But this one, I think, is one of the few sets that are worth the money, just base price, right? So this is one of the sets that is deceptively big. Like when I finally built it and put it all together, I'm like, wow, this is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. Plus, you get some pretty cool minifigures. You get all the main Inquisitors from the show, Reva, Grand Inquisitor, and Fifth Brother. You get an Obi-Wan. The shuttle looks amazing. The angles on that one are really cool. I always like how they do the angles on some of these shuttles. So this is an S tier set. This may be my favorite set of the entire wave. Spoiler, I think it's even better than the ATTE because this one, despite the ATTE, I think is actually worth the price you pay for it. So probably one of the best, if not the best, set of the entire year. Next up, we have Cad Bane's shuttle from the Bad Batch series. So this is not a set I picked up yet. I intend to eventually, but for $170 retail price, it's a pretty hefty price for a set that, or for a ship that not a lot of people want, right? No one was like, ooh, I need Cad Bane's, what's it even called, the Justifier or something like that. Which you get some pretty cool minifigures. You get Hunter. So if you missed out on the Bad Batch shuttle, you get the main Bad Batch member. You get Omega, which people wanted since the show officially came out. You get a Cad Bane. It's been forever since we've gotten a Cad Bane, and you get his little droid Toto 360. So this is a cool set. I think it looks pretty cool. Like it's just odd that they made this one, the big coup de grace, the final wave, right? $170, the big set. It's just not a set that anyone really asked for. So I think it's a B tier set. Like the set does look cool. You get good minifigures. It's just not, as interesting as it probably could have been. It probably could have been smaller as well and a little bit cheaper. But yeah, probably a B tier set. Up next, we have Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. This is an Episode 2 set. So this one retails for $30. It's almost always on sale now, which is really nice. You get Episode 2 Obi-Wan, R4, and Taun We. There's a little cutoff right there, but that's definitely the draw for me on the set was Taun We. Finally getting a Kaminoan was really, really nice. Um, the set itself is deceptively bad, right? So all of you that did get this set know about the gaps in between the wing. I know there's ways to fix it, but just the getting the set itself, it's not great. Like I built it, I'm like, oh man, did I mess up a step? Like no, that's how it's supposed to look. There's this like giant gap in between the wings and the main body, and all the pictures for the actual Lego set, it's angled just right so that you don't notice that wing gap, which is a huge shame because this set would be really, really cool. But for that reason, I got to give it a C. It's not, it really, really breaks the set for me. Like the minifigures are great, the price isn't terrible for it, but just the set design could have been better, right? Could have been better. Up next, we have the Obi-Wan Darth Vader duel set. So this is another like big controversial set for the Star Wars fans because on one hand, you get some amazing minifigures, right? You get Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, Ned B, which may be the best minifigure of the year in my opinion, and then Tala, I think her name was. On the other hand, you get a $50 gray slab. Um, so you got to weigh the options there. And before I was like D tier, the minifigures are one thing, but the set itself is definitely a D. But I just got this one for Christmas, and it's actually not bad. I put it together. It's bigger than I thought it was, which was nice, and it's got enough like play features. This is definitely a set for kids, I think. It's got a lot of play features, spin the guys around, blow up the lava. The minifigures are great again, but no kid's gonna just want a gray slab piece of concrete or piece of rock. And for $50, it's pretty outrageous. Now it is on sale for most places, which is nice. But if you just look at for a regular retail price, there's no reason that this should be a $50 set, even by today's standards, right? But man, this is one set I have to bump up just because of the minifigures, because that Ned B is great. It's so good. So Probably would have been a C set, but the minifigures are so good, and plus you get Darth Vader and Obi-Wan for, relatively cheap, because Darth Vader always seems to be in a really expensive set. So it's fine to get them, in a less expensive set, and, you know, despite just being a big square rock, it's not terrible. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. So up next we have a promotional set. This was the Lars Homestead, and this one is really, really cool. I did manage to get this one when it was coming out. It was a May the 4th exclusive. Um, Now I haven't looked to see what secondhand prices are for this thing. I'm sure they're not fun, but I do like this set a lot. It's cool. It's just a nice little vignette, and we finally get an Aunt Beru minifigure, which we probably should have gotten a long time ago. We've gotten a couple Owens, but Aunt Beru is a nice addition, and it's a cool little vignette. I think this is an A tier set. The build is nice. The little techniques they do to get the siding and the cabinets are really nice. And it's cool just to get, something that wouldn't normally be released, because like no kid's gonna buy a Star Wars kitchen, right? But a little promotional set, like heck yeah, give me the Star Wars kitchen. Um, so up next we got a couple more helmets, and these ones are way better than the Dark Trooper. I think this is Luke's helmet, right? This one is really cool. I like the goggles, how they did that. Um, the shaping is definitely a lot better than the Dark Trooper in my opinion. I think this is a B tier helmet set. One thing that they can do to improve the helmet sets a lot are include the minifigure that the helmets are based off of. So if we got a Pilot Luke, if we got a Dark Trooper, if we got a Beskar Mando with these things, I'm sure that more people would want them. Like for me particular, like I know there's a Captain Rex Phase 2 helmet rumored to come out this year. So if we got a Phase 2 Rex with that, I'm sure people would swarm all over that thing. But that's just me spitballing here. What we got is, a fine helmet with the Luke's helmet. And the Beskar Mando, I think, is the same tier. They definitely captured, the Mando helmet, and the coloring is pretty good. Another B tier Lego set. Up next, we have the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter. So I lied. This is the second Book of Boba Fett episode, or Book of Boba Fett set. It's just, entirely focused on the Mandalorian, which is, maybe a little bit of an issue with this show. But this set it's all right. I think it was a $60 or $70 set. I can't quite recall. But you get Beskar Mando, and you finally get a face print on him. You get another BD droid, and it's blue instead of red, so it's different than the Build-A-Figure. You get Pelimoto, and this set it's good. Like, it's cool. It's got some cool techniques you build it with. It's just a beat up silver N1 Starfighter, so I think this is another B tier set for me. Like it's just all right. I don't think it's overly fantastic, and I don't think it's bad. It's pretty run of the mill. Up next is the Microfighter Razor Crest. I think this is another terrible set. Not just because it's a Microfighter. I'm not a fan of the Microfighter series, but I know, for kids these are really, really good. But so that me not liking it doesn't play a part in this. I think that they just didn't build Razor Crest very well at all. Like, it doesn't look anything like the Razor Crest. These big, cannons on the side of it aren't very good. Just doesn't look like the Razor Crest at all. So definitely, I think a D tier Microfighter set. Up next, we have the Republic Fighter Tank set. This set was pretty fantastic, I thought. It's a little, more vertical than it probably should be, and there is a gap. An issue I had with the Obi-Wan Starfighter. There is a gap in here, which kind of stinks. But the minifigures definitely sell this set. This is a $40 set retail, so definitely a little bit more expensive than it probably should be. But you get, two of the purple clone troopers, a purple airborne trooper, and Mace Windu. But despite the gap in the Republic Fighter Tank, it's built really well. It looks really cool. I think this is, an A tier set because of the minifigure and the minifigures and the build. And when it's on price or on sale, the price is definitely a lot more reasonable. So I think this is an A tier set. So up next is the one battle pack we got this year, the Hoth Snowtrooper battle pack. So in this one, we get 3 snowtroopers and a Hoth scout trooper, which is really cool. The builds aren't fantastic. They up the the battle pack price to $20 from 15, which is a shame, but we all saw this coming. It's definitely an all right set. So it pairs well with the AT-AT that we got last year. You can finally fill out the ranks and the shares in there for a cheaper price, which is good. Um, but it's just, I don't know. I'm a bit divided because like we finally got a battle pack, but it's just a bunch of stormtroopers with uninteresting builds. Like we get a little cannon, a little snowbank, and a little speeder. It's nothing too exciting. Um, I think I just got to rank this another B. I know we're getting a lot of mediocre sets, but it's neither bad nor good in my opinion. Up next we have the Death Star Trash Compactor set. So this is another diorama set, and this one is really cool. We get some fantastic minifigures in here. We get the Han and Luke in the Stormtrooper getup, and we got like new Stormtrooper printing. So the next Stormtroopers we get should be in that new style. And this one is really cool. The way they did the walls and how they can slide together is really cool. I think this is another A tier set. I believe that this one also retails for $100, but is usually on sale. Definitely would recommend picking it up if it's on sale. It's really cool and makes a nice, little office display piece. It's really nice. Up next, I think is maybe the weakest of the diorama sets. It's the Death Star Trench Run. It's really, I'm also a little bit divided on this one. It's got the nice back, and the way they did the back is really cool. And the micro scale X-Wing and TIE fighters are nice as well. But I think this is the least interesting of the dioramas, just in my humble opinion. And I think it's a C tier set. I think this is a little worse than mediocre, especially for the price you pay for it. It just doesn't really justify what you're getting, in my opinion. Up next, we have the UCS Land Speeder. So this one is the meme set that no one asked for, but we all got, because it's another Luke's Land Speeder. We've been getting Luke's Land Speeder repeats for years and years, and they give us a UCS one. You get another Farm Boy Luke and a C-3PO for minifigures in this one. I'm not a fan of it. I just don't really like it. Like, the build itself is, of course, really good. I don't think there's a UCS set that doesn't look really good. But it's just a UCS set that no one wanted. Like, what about another X-Wing or, an ARC 170 or something along that lines? But no, we got, Luke's Land Speeder. Fantastic. Now, last but certainly not least is the UCS Razor Crest. So this thing is an S tier set easily. It's fantastic. It's not one that I personally own, but everything I've seen on it looks amazing. The minifigures are good. You get the Mithril, Queel, the Child, and Mando, of course. And then the build itself is pretty much to minifigure scale, which is great. It's a bit pricey, of course. It's the more expensive UCS set, but it is still really good. Definitely an S tier set just because of how good it looks. Like, it kind of stinks that little spoiler, but the ship blows up in season 2 of Mandalorian, which is why we get the N1. But it's a really good set, and I really like it. It looks really good. They did a good job on that one. So that does it for my tier ranking list. So in S tier we have Boba Fett's Throne Room, the UCS Razor Crest, the ATTE, and the Inquisitor Shuttle. For A tier sets we got the Lars Homestead, the Death Star Trash Compactor diorama, the Republic Fighter Tank, the Ambush on Ferrix, and the 2 little battle packs. For B tier sets we got the Mando helmet, the Hoth battle pack, the N1 Mando Starfighter, Luke's helmet, the Obi-Wan Darth Vader duel, Cad Bane Starfighter, the Hoth ATST, the Dagobah diorama, and buildable BD-1. For C tier sets, we got Obi-Wan Starfighter, the UCS Land Speeder, the Death Star Trench Run diorama, and the Dark Trooper helmet. For D tier sets, we have the Microfighter Razor Crest, the Blue Milk Luke, and the Endor Attack set. So, what do you guys think? Tell me Do you agree with my ranking? Are there sets that you would rank higher, lower? Let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But I'll see you all later.